Mirror in the bathroom. Okay, enough of that. Welcome to the Super Pilotish channel. My name is Graham Wilson, and today in my basement, I'm going to be talking about five flying tips for the fall. So, anyways, welcome to the chat, Dan Gafuk and Nefarious. Very cool to have you here, guys, and everyone else tuning in. All right, so I was gonna just before I went on, I was thinking about something else. There was my last show. Someone was brought up turbulence. I forget who it was, and I should have just used that as a topic, but it's a nice, beautiful fall day out there today, and I thought, well, let's have a seasonal show. So, to call it fall or to call it autumn, I don't know. Tomato. But I will call it fall. Fall better. Okay, we are going to talk about fall flying tips today. So, fall flying tips. And as usual, I have my whiteboard, fall flying tips. Yeah, my little picture that I had that you click on to get into this, that was I did that up custom. It was for fall flying forecast, and I don't know, I was just trying to think of F's and still keep it friendly for families. We'll put it that way. Oh, hey, Rich. Okay, we are gonna let's have a little red underline here because we're all about safety. Red is good for safety. Okay, number one, fall. And depending on where you are in the world, fall frost. Okay. Yeah, the it can start getting frosty out there now. It's October. Now if you're down in the southern United States or I don't know, maybe Europe. I don't know if anyone watches me over in Europe, if you're in Spain or something like that, or Sicily, Italy, I don't know, Greece, you probably don't have to worry about that. But around this time in Canada, anyways, where I am, but mostly a little bit more north from here, is you can start getting frost. You can start getting snow in October. Quite easy to get snow in October. I remember the first year I went up to Sault Ste. Marie, which is to go to flight college up there, and I was walking to school. And it's like, yeah, it's starting to get a little cold here. And I'll never forget it. It was Halloween. And I was walking home and it was dark and it was Halloween and it was a snowstorm. So I didn't have any boots or anything. I just had my regular dress shoes. And it was like 3 or 4 inches of snow. And I'm like, whoa, welcome to the north here, I guess. I go home, my motorcycle's all covered in snow on the seat and everything. And it's like, okay, well, I guess they get their snow a little bit earlier up north. So, and I was looking at the forecast for Sault Ste. Marie, Edmonton, Saskatoon. Another few days is going to get frosty at night. So that's something to watch out for your airplane. And we all know how frost on the wings, it kind of disturbs the airflow and you get less lift, more drag. It can be very noticeable if you have like a thick. I've done other videos on this, but if you got like really thick frost on your wings, you'll notice it when you're flying, and it could get to the point where, well, at that point you are a test pilot because they don't test the wings with frost on them or anything. But you don't know what your stall speed is. You don't know what your maximum weight could be. You don't know anything about your airplane. The airflow over the wing is just it's all messed up. So there we go. Watch out for that frost. Put it in the hangar, and wing covers. If you're up north, wing covers time. And then another thing there too. Now that it's getting a little bit colder, okay. Let's see. I don't know how I should word this. Okay, so it's going to get a little bit colder here, and so when any engine that you have, whether it's your car or your motorcycle or an airplane, usually most of the engine wear that happens is when you start it up and there's not like a whole bunch of oil sitting around in the cylinders. So if you have, so let's call this, let's engine, we'll say engine warming, I guess. Engine warm. Keep your engine warm. Or all right, engine warm. So up here in Canada, where it gets a little bit colder, there's this. They have basically, it's kind of like the idea of a block heater, and there's a little plug that goes into the engine, and you plug that in to an electrical socket, and it keeps the engine block warm and keeps the oil warm. Some other people, they put it's like a little sticky patch underneath the oil pan, and that'll kind of keep the oil warm. And so if you are here, another thing to consider is if you do own your own airplane or something like that, you might want to consider a different viscosity of oil for the wintertime, because in the like just like anything, if you have, say you got some honey or something like that, okay, and the honey was in the fridge, and you try to pour the honey, it's going to be kind of slow. But if the honey was kept out on the countertop or something like that, and it's really hot, it might go a little bit better. Well, as you heat up the oil, it becomes more runny, kind of thing. So conversely, if you cool it down, it gets thicker. And then you're also worried about that when you're starting up your engine. Is it too thick to start going through all the different oil ports and splash around on all the things, cams and lifters and everything that it should splash around on? Something to consider. So there's that. And also, one of my favorite buddies to go hang around with is birds. So I like flying. I like birds. They're cool. You look at them, hey, I want to do that, and then you do it. So, so yeah, I went camping there last weekend, 2 weekends ago, and all the birds had pretty much gone from where I am. So I checked out on the internet today, and they're still not down in their final migrating place yet. So if you're in the middle of the United States, around Tennessee, Kentucky, maybe southern Ohio, where else, into Georgia, Alabama, and stuff like that, there's still quite a few birds going through there. And I found that out. There's this really cool website that's out. It's called birdcast.info. I'll write it down here. Birdcast.info. And after the show, I'll put a link to in the description below. And yeah, birdcast.info. So, and it's really neat. They have like forecasts of where you can see like the majority of the birds are here. And like it could be out in like, oh, it's this one little valley in California or something. And it's like, boom, there's a whole bunch there. Or, hanging out, trying to make it over the mountains out in, Tennessee, or hills, I guess, big hills, little mountains. And then none of your business is here too. Hi. Yeah, so the bird stuff, and then I was looking at the birds the other day. I don't know, just FYI bird information. Hey, I like birds. I check it out on the internet sometimes. And as far as like hitting birds with your airplane, it's not good. You shouldn't try to do that. But I was also looking at where most bird strikes happen between aircraft and birds. And just like in my own experience, like I've hit a few. Oops. It was quick and painless. And so usually that's on takeoff or landing, like not too far off the ground at all. And you'll see it. I don't know if you ever listen to any ground frequencies at airports and stuff like that. Even the big guys, it's surprising that they can, we're here in Windsor, they'll have, Q400s, like Dash 8s coming and going. And a lot of these guys, like, they'll know, oh yeah, we hit a bird on rotation. Like, how do you know? It's such a big plane. I've never flown in one of those. But they can kind of tell when they hit a bird too. So they just tell whoever's working there, the ground crew, they go out in a truck and they kind of look around. Okay, here's the carcass, and they take it off the runway so it doesn't get like sucked into a jet engine or something like that. Keep your runways clean. And but yeah, generally most bird strikes will happen under 10,000 feet. And that's when the birds are migrating. They generally don't go over 10,000 feet. And I also thought that was kind of a funny number. And I would wager that most bird strikes happen below 100 feet. But yeah, it's like, why is that 10,000 feet number sticking in my head? Because over 10,000 feet, that's when you got to start worrying about having oxygen in your airplane or pressurization. And so it's interesting that would kind of, I wonder if the birds, they get up to 10,000 feet and they run out of gas and they go, I'll go down lower where I can breathe better. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't really asked a bird about that or anything. So, anyways, and okay, so that was another thing too. If you are going to be flying around, and I could see how birds would get up that high, and I would say the biggest ones to worry about would be the and I've seen them around here, is the turkey vultures. So those turkey vultures are big, man, and they like to get on thermals. So like if the ground is warming up and hot air rises, like a hot air balloon. So your hot air rises, it's going up, and then the turkey vultures, they'll just kind of circle around, just like glider pilots do that too. And you just kind of circle around, take the thermal, and it gets you up and up and up and up. You get some free altitude out of the deal, and then off you go to your next destination. So uh, watch out for the turkey vultures if they're going to be spiraling up, or if there's any bird reports, because those things are big. I've never hit one. Don't want to hit one. Haven't heard of anyone hitting one. But I don't know. I have warned people about that before, because if they're migrating, there's a ton of them around, and that you could be like, oh, look, a turkey vulture. Oh, another one. Oh, there's another 100. Like, then you got to watch out. And the bigger the bird, the less maneuverable it is too, to get out of your way if you're flying through. So birdcast.info, very cool website to check out. And then let's see. Freezing level. That's the next thing I thought of, is the freezing level. So I don't know if you've ever driven around in the mountains or anything like that, where you go up a little bit higher, or like say in California, they can be, there's snow up in the mountains, and then you drive down and they go to the beach in Los Angeles or something like that. So that's proof that it gets colder when you go up there. So, you climb up Mount Everest, and it's everyone's frozen to dead and stuff. So, that's fun. Anyways, yeah, so freezing level, watch out for that too, because maybe in the summertime you're flying around and I never think about it, but it's like, and it could be a beautiful day like here today, but sun goes down, temperature drops, freezing level. So, it'll be 32 Fahrenheit or 0 Celsius up at this level. Then the temperature drops, and now lower, closer to the ground, it's freezing. You throw in a little bit of precipitation in there, or some cloud, and now you're building up ice, and you're thinking, well, I took off, it's a beautiful day, and now I'll land at night with ice on my wing, and that's not cool. So anyways, what else we got here? We also have number 5. Okay, so it kind of has to do with the freezing level a little bit, and let's see. Okay, if you are in the northern hemisphere, daylight's starting to become a bit of an issue now. So maybe you want to be, you go flying after work or something like that. No problem. You're doing that in the summertime, and then all of a sudden now it's fall. So it's like, oh yeah, I'll go up. And then, oh, you take some passengers up for a little buzz around town or something like that. And then, oh, now it's dark. Now, when was the last time you flew at night? Are you current to be flying passengers at night? Probably not. So that's something to watch out for too. Is daylight. Keep an eye on that, because you don't want to be flying illegally. If you there's in Canada, anyways, you have to do 5 takeoffs and landings within the last 6 months at night to be able to carry passengers at night. And I'm not sure what it is in the States. I don't know if they have anything about that. Maybe not. But check your local regulations. Europe, I'm not sure. But yeah, so there we go. just a little thing here, and I think next time I'll be talking about turbulence. So here we go. Fall flying tips. A little final fun summary before I go see if there's any questions or anything. All right, fall flying tips. Frost. Watch out for your frost. It's gets a little colder at night, and usually frost will, it'll kind of form. There was this one farmer guy who's an organic farmer, and he took a few flying lessons, and then, farmers are like, there's not many of them that actually get their pilot's licenses because they're so busy working on the farm all the time. They don't have time to study. They don't have the time to go flying. There's a few that do, but generally those farmers just work from sun up till sundown. This organic farmer guy was always telling me, he's like, yep, yeah, you get the frost half hour before sunup and a half hour after sunup. And then at night, half hour before sundown, half hour after sundown. I was like, I don't know. That's what he's a farmer and he works from sun up till sundown. So I tend to believe him. And yeah, you can do that. You can pull the plane out of the hangar and sun's coming up, pull the plane out of the hangar, let it sit there. You're sitting there drinking coffee, shooting the shit, and let's go flying. Hey, where'd that frost come from? So watch out for that. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. So next thing, is your engine warm? Think about the consideration of oil, etc. And are you gonna have to plug it in? Did you want to have that installed, that heater installed on your plane? I don't know, the planes that I used to fly there, where I used to work at a flight school, and it's just like, yeah, those engines lasted a long time. We always kept them plugged in. And if you are wondering about, is it worth it to plug in the airplane, like, and you keep it plugged in all winter, generally the amount of amperage and voltage and all that other stuff, it's about equivalent to having a light, like a 60-watt light bulb plugged in. So as they say, cheap insurance for your engine just to have a light bulb plugged in. It doesn't use up that much electricity. Now, for birdcast.info, I can't recommend that enough. That's a really cool, well, especially if you're a quasi birder like myself, it's just, it's awesome, man, birds. But it is pretty cool. And yeah, birdcast.info. Also, watch your freezing level. That also kind of goes around with flying at night, which is your daylight. Watch out for that. And don't be flying into any clouds or anything. And if you do fly into a cloud, now you're picking up a pile of ice and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, that's not cool. Not cool at all, unless your plane's like all set up for it. But most little planes aren't. So there we go. Fall flying tips. Take a picture. It lasts longer. Okay, there we go. That is that. All right, one more show out of the way. And yeah, so I think we'll just kind of we'll take a look at the chat here and see what's going on. And what's this here? Did I see Lum in there somewhere? Oh, Adam. Okay, cool. Yeah, I put the McFarlane heater on Lum. Oh, that's pretty sweet. That's there we go. Good old Lum. That's a local airplane around here. Flown in it a few times. It's a nice little Cessna 150. And okay, let's go back to the beginning here. Any questions? Okay. Has anyone ever tried? Now, I have no idea what this means, Gufuk. Has anyone ever tried airplanes to purse seine for ducks and geese? I have no idea what that means. Does that mean like draining blood? Whatever. No idea. Okay. Oh. And a simple yes/no question here from Wrench. Ever see that Jeff Daniels movie where he flies an ultralight with birds, Fly Away Home? Nope, did not see it. But I remember seeing, like, back in the day that there was I don't know if this was the movie, but I remember seeing a documentary way back in the day where There were some people, they were trying to train, I think it was like swans or something like that. It was like they were trying to reintroduce swans, and or I think it was swans or some snow geese, maybe something like that, some kind of white bird, and or Canada geese. Anyways, there was some kind of geese, and they were training them to like follow the ultralight, and they flew the ultralight down to where their ancestral spawning grounds were or whatever, and then the birds just kind of picked it up and taught it to their kids and everything like that. So yeah, it was kind of cool. So I never have seen that movie, Wrench, but it's eh, pretty cool. The only thing I don't like about that young man is that ultralights are just so deadly, man. You got to have like no wind at all. People crash them all the time. They're cheap. I'm sure they're super fun, but I'd never been. Well, I have been in one ultralight, but not those ones that are like a kite with a little propeller behind you. It's I was in an advanced ultralight, which was just kind of like a very small, light airplane that looks like an airplane, flies like an airplane, but it was a little, because it was so light, it kind of got bounced around a bit more. Okay. Yes, that's right, Adam. Watch out for turkey vultures and cobra chickens. That's right. That's right, bud. Watch out for them cobra chickens there, bud. Okay. And what else we got here? Uh, uh, uh. Okay, what else we got here? Okay, and that is oh, okay. Wrench is thinking about I think that's for the currency 3-month currency rule in the states, or 90 days. That sounds kind of familiar to me. I was sort of looking at what it would take to get a license conversion to an American license, and it's not that difficult to go between one country and another to get a license. Basically, all the flight training and everything licenses, it all carries over. So if I have a commercial pilot's license, like I do with a class 1 flight instructor rating and instrument rating, then that would all transfer all over to the States. And then you just have to get a medical and do the appropriate, there is a conversion, what is it? There's a written test you got to do for that, and you got to do a check ride with an instructor, I think, or an examiner. But all right. But anyways, no matter what, and whether it's 6 months, 3 months, that's worth doing a Google search on, depending on your jurisdiction. Okay. And Dan, I got to bring this one up because I always love a good compliment. Great teaching, learning show. Thanks. You are welcome, Dan. Okay. Okay. So, none of your business saw Starman with Jeff Daniels. Good movie. Lol. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I remember seeing Starman. Yeah, Last Starfighter there too. Yeah, that was all right. Last Starfighter was cool because I was a heavy video game player at the time, so that was blew all my paper route money on video games. That's how it goes. And what else we got? And Jim pops in right at the very end just to say howdy. And I got to go. No, sorry, Jim's here. We got to go. Shut her down, boys. So, anyways, thanks for showing up, anyhow, Jim. Yeah, so time's up. And yes, that's about it. What day is today? Today is Monday. So, what am I having for dinner today? Pork chops on the barbecue. And then, and if you're wondering, pizza day was nice last Friday. So, what else we got here? Oh, okay. Wrench has one last little thing here to say. Tried to watch Time Bandits many times and always fall asleep. Me too, man. You know what other one is bad for that? Blade Runner. If you like, I'll put on Blade Runner. It's like what, 2 hours? It's all dark and quiet, and you just It knocks you right out. Pretty wild. So yeah, there we go. So today is Monday. I'll be back on Wednesday. Hopefully, I remember to talk about turbulence, and because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern, and we'll just kind of shut her down. And thank you for watching. Bye.